Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty.
Good evening. My name is Ernie Harris, and I'm here with another edition of Black on Black in Your Lap. Tonight our conversation is on the speed or stop lights cameras. Question whether or not it's constitutional or unconstitutional. Tonight we have two guests to discuss the topic. From the Oppressed People Nation we have Ernie Smith, and from Black on Black we have Art McKoy. One thing similar about both of these men, they're both founders of their organizations. Good evening. The people of East Cleveland has came out and declared they want to fight against the speed red light cameras.
Yes, sir.
And they're now engaged in a battle, and you're looking for that to come to fruition November 8th. Is that not, when is the election day?
November the 8th, November the 9th. If you vote yes, the cameras will be down by November the 9th. They'll have to come down.
If there's a mandate, vote, it would have to come down.
If we win the vote yes, on November the 8th, November the 9th, we can all gather around as the cameras come down. You got to understand, as common people, I'm not speaking for the bureaucrats or the government or the cities. I'm speaking for the common people, the common residents, say of East Cleveland. Here's what you got to understand. The more the government or the more the cities go in your pocket and take your hard-earned money, the more they'll want to go in your pocket and take your hard-earned money. In other words, it's a never-ending cycle. We want money for this. We want money for that. We want money for this. We want money for that. And pretty soon, it'll be where you don't have money to pay for your lights. You don't have money to pay for your gas. You don't have money. You have to choose between food or medicine because the cities continue to go in your pocket. So philosophically, I'm opposed to this for this reason. And cities need to come up with more innovative ways to create tax revenue, to create ways to support their city without always having to go in Ernie Smith's pocket, without always having to go in Ernie Harris' pocket. That is one of the main reasons I'm against the speed light cameras, not only in East Cleveland, but right now we're concentrating on East Cleveland.
All right, and I'm glad you said, Ernie, how does Oppressed People Nation see this issue?
When you build something on the line, say that the lights are for safety. How are they for safety when you got them in the schools on at 9 o'clock at night? Like the brother Art said, how are you building your revenue off the heads of the people? It's just like I heard this somewhere before. It's just like if a drug dealer was feeding his whole family, hell, feeding my family off of selling drugs. That's off of killing other people in their own community. They go in front of the judge is going to send them to jail. So it's just like that. The power structure is building revenue off the heads of the people. Every time that the light click, it's building revenue off the heads of the people. And my question to the power structure is, how were you paying your city workers before the lights? So that's why we against it. They have come up with all kind of excuses, and the bottom line is over 500 East Cleveland residents signed the petition. We just speaking up for the people. The people want them gone, and some of them either scared or don't know how to use their voice. So we be their voice box.
I'm somewhat perplexed because I can remember when they first developed come with these lights. There was an argument that they were concerned about the safety around the school. How did the safety matter turn into I can't hire a police matter? It turned from safety into profit. I don't understand the logic there. Either the initial logic was unlogical, or but the argument at the meeting the other night was that the police were saying that if they disband the cameras, they would have to lay off police. But initially they had the cameras for safety. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did the argument change from safety to profit?
Well, I'll tell you how the argument changed. Because Mr. Smith, Ernest L. Smith, just pointed it out to you. If you start with a lie, you're going to end with a lie. So the argument hasn't changed. The lie has changed. The argument is the same. Money out of your pocket, but the lie has changed, and that's the difference right there. Is the fact that they lied about safety, and they should have just came out, because here's why so many people signed those signatures, is because they recognize that they were lied to. If the city had came on out in the beginning and said, we need money and we got to go in your pocket to get it for these cameras, we could have understood. But so that is why it has changed, because that's the way it was from the beginning.
Sound a little bit like America, huh? Weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely.
I understand that the police department have been going around to people's homes telling them, to pass it. Isn't this somewhat, audacious in this that these the same people that they whoop down in the street and knock upside their head, now they're bending over to get their vote?
It's another form of oppression, it's another form of slavery, it's another form of trying to keep us down. So they could go around door to door and talk about the red light cameras, but they can't go around door to door to help our youth. They can't come in our neighborhoods when they off work to help our youth. Matter of fact, it kills me that they say that this is their community in their neighborhood, but only 3 officers stay in East Cleveland. So it's totally about economics. It's totally about money. And to me, I don't know how they keep calling, how they keep saying that they the city. I could have swore the people are the city, and City Hall works for the people. So I don't see what the big issue is. If the people don't want the cameras, take them down and find another way. All these abandoned buildings and houses, they can have youth work on these buildings and sell the buildings and everything to get economics for the city. That's also, I like to call it, knocking out more than one bird with one stone. That's also putting youth to work and showing them how to build houses and do construction. There's a whole lot they can do. But instead, they just are too busy being oppressors and dictators, in my opinion.
Now, how the elected officials, how they lining up with this?
Well, Brother Harris, let me feed into what Brother Smith has just said. Now, the other part of this campaign to persuade the people to vote no is the mayor has went to senior citizens home. He just left the Ernest this week, and he's having and he's sponsoring dinners. In other words, he's inviting the seniors to come to a free dinner sponsored by the city. And at that free dinner, he's speaking about voting no on the camera. So you got the police going out door to door saying vote no, and you got the mayor using his tactic of buying senior citizens dinner at the senior citizen home. So here's what I'm saying about that. Here's what I'm saying to senior citizens. I'm a senior citizen myself, and many of us come from the South, and we know the struggle for us to be able to get an independent vote. We know that we were hung, we know that we were died, we know that we were tarred and feathered. So I'm saying to the senior citizens that here in my lap, from Ernie Harris, here's what I'm saying to them. Don't let your vote be sold for a chicken dinner. Don't let your votes be sold for a meatloaf dinner by the mayor.